It's Muhammad Azril Bianan. Today we have a small CQI workshop called Job Interview Mastery Workshop. Thank you for joining me today, and I would like to inform you that you would not regret this workshop lah. After this workshop is over, please fill in the form given by lecturers. It would help us very much understand your needs for improvements further along in the future. Okay, my name is Muhammad Ribanan. So I'm an English lecturer at PTSB. Who am I? So I have a diploma in business studies. I have a degree in TESOL. During those interim between diploma and degree, I have went through a lot of, not a lot, I would say, maybe close to 7 or 8 job interviews in the real world. I've been with my fellow friends during that time, seeing through the business sides of things, how they recruit people, how recruitment is done through the HR. I went through, I worked for one of my colleague, my friend, and saw through how he went through recruiting his future employees. So safe to say, I have somewhat of a good experience in the real world of how people go through job interviews, and from the lens of recruiters, how they view potential employees. So we're going to focus on you guys after graduation on the job interview aspect. What you can expect, the challenges that you may face, and most important of all, the type of interview questions that you might encounter. Okay, so let me share my PowerPoint. Okay. Again, if there is any problem, if you have difficulties in hearing me, okay, please say something. Okay. Okay. So first things first, you need to understand a simple concept. What is a job? Ah, a job is you are getting paid. You are getting paid to do something, and that's the keyword here. To do something. Sorry, there's a lot of people waiting in the lobby. Okay, never mind. So a job is you're getting paid to do something. Do is the operative word, right? The action, the verb. So can you do what others can? So a job is basically, for example, let's say you work as a waiter, right? Your job is, the verb is you take orders. You make orders, and then you give their food to the customers. And then at the end of the day, at the end of the month, you are getting paid for that task, the verb do. So the thing is, you have to understand, in the real world, the your value is much more determined in terms of jobs, right? It's determined by the scarcity of your ability to do that something. For example, katakanlah kerja operator. Let's say working for an operator at a factory, right? Let's say person A, you work as an operator at a factory, and then person A leaves. Who can replace A working as an operator for the factory? Who can replace him? Basically, almost everybody who is an SPM leaver in entire Malaysia. Seluruh Malaysia, siapa-siapa yang dah SPM, boleh gantikan si A ni. To do that job at that factory doesn't require specific skill. Now, compared to B, let's say B is a CNC technician, right? So he's a CNC technician with 5 years experience. Okay, he has a certificate in CNC manufacturing. So let's say B, a CNC technician, leaves his job. Now the question is, who can replace B as a CNC technician? Can everybody in Malaysia replace that position? Can everybody in Malaysia do the same thing that B does? Remember, B is a CNC technician. So there are a limited number of people in Malaysia with a qualification in CNC, with experience in CNC, that can do the same thing as B does. So that's why, all right, when it comes to skills, the more needed your skills are, the scarcity is a lot higher, or in this case a lot lower, I guess, right? Makin kurang orang yang ada skill tu, the more value you are to the employer. You have to understand that. So in your case, whether you are in JP, JKM, JKE, or JKA, right, you will learn certain skills that others don't. Okay, JKM, bengkel you masuk, JKE, JKA, bengkel, piping, welding, wiring, DAT, accountancy. Those are critical skills that other people lepas SPM tak ada. So that is what makes you valuable. You have to understand that your skills are what makes you valuable in the real world, because your skills enables you to do something other people can't. Simple. Okay, diploma you, okay, kemahiran you, accountancy, electrical engineering, electronic, mechanical, awam, job surveyor, site surveying, right? Tak semua orang ada skill macam you. Dan skill itulah yang membuatkan you boleh membuat sesuatu yang orang tak buat, dan itulah nilai you. Nilai di situ. That's where your value lies. You have to remember this. As we go through this entire bengkel, the workshop, you have to understand your value. Your value lies in your skill, because you can do things other people can't. You boleh buat sesuatu yang orang lain tak boleh buat. Okay? Easy example, you and me, right? You boleh buat wiring, you boleh buat CNC, you boleh buat Photoshop, you boleh buat apa nama program computer engineering tu? I tak ingat lah. Python, okay, C++. I can't. So you have a specific skill yang orang nak, yang I tak boleh buat. So your value and my value is different. I have a certain set of skills that I can do. You have a certain set of skills that you can do. But at the end of the day, we are very different compared to, katakanlah, jangan salah faham, I hormat semua orang, kita kena hormat semua orang, But compared to, katakanlah, lepas SPM saja, they have no added skills that is of value to the employer, because they are easily replaceable. You have to understand the fact, okay? So let's go back to the PowerPoint, You remember that, that's key. You have skills. So let's move on. What is a job interview, right? So it is a selection process to pick a future employee by the employer. Okay, this is my definition. You cannot find it in the internet. Orally, visually, with either face-to-face conversations or through other mediums such as phones or calls. So what is job interview? Majikan nak buat pemilihan pekerja. Simple. Boleh faham? Boleh faham kan? Senang kan? Okay. So the interview process, okay, the thing is about the interview processes, it is inherently flawed. Dia memang, at the end of the day, interview process is not perfect. Okay, there is an issue at the core of it. Okay, di teras dia punya basic dia kan, interview process ni memang bermasalah. Because it is impossible to make a judgment on anyone within a 15 to 30 minutes time frame. For example, okay, katakanlah I interview Idora, or Eric, or Fatul. Okay, I interview you. I jumpa you. Hi Fatul, blah, 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 blah. So within a 15 to 30 minutes, dalam 15 hingga 30 minit, I'm saying that, okay, I like Eric. I don't like Fatul. Because why? I think Eric is a hardworking person, Fatul is lazy. Is that fair? Is it fair to say that I boleh nilai you dalam 30 minit, you ni macam mana orang dia? Even saying that sentence, you can see that it's not fair. Betul tak? Untuk I betul-betul kenal you, okay, Hilman, okay, Kavin Raj, Kogulan, for me to really to get to know you, it takes more than 30 minutes. Betul tak? Untuk you kenal siapa-siapa, untuk mengetahui untuk you betul-betul faham, orang ni pekerja yang bagus, orang ni pekerja yang rajin, orang ni kita boleh harap bertanggungjawab, orang ni pemimpin yang bagus. To really know about that person, it takes more than 30 minutes. It may take days, weeks, months, betul tak? So inherently, the interview process is a very flawed process. You have to understand, it is an unfair process. Ini memang proses yang tak adil. You have to accept that fact. Sir, kenapa kalau macam itu kita buat interview lama sikit? Money lah, duit lah. I mana ada masa sebagai employer untuk interview you 2-3 hari, seminggu, sebulan, 2 bulan, 6 bulan, tak ada masa. Dalam masa 30 minit tu, I kena buat swift judgment. Okay, this person is suitable for my company. This person is not suitable. You have to understand that, okay? You have to accept that fact. Okay, it is a flawed process. Okay, it is an unfair process. Interview process is an unfair process. Jangan salah faham, don't get me wrong. Okay, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to make you understand or ready what you will be facing in the real world. Interview process is an unfair process. Number one, everybody has their own biases. Okay, maybe this person prefers, mungkin perempuan ni dia prefer female employees. Sebab dia kata, oh, female employees are better because they are much more detail oriented. That's a bias. That's unfair. They, in their heads, in their hearts, right? They are saying that there is a difference between a guy and a girl without knowing them first. They are saying that belum apa dia kata lelaki ni memang tak detail, perempuan saja detail. It is a bias. Or maybe interviewer tu lelaki, the interviewer is a guy, and they prefer guys. Dia kata, oh, lelaki yang lelaki kan, sebab kerja ni banyak buat kat site, dia tak boleh handle kerja panas, perempuan ni tak boleh kerja panas, perempuan tak boleh handle kerja teruk. Adakah semua perempuan macam itu? No. Ada perempuan boleh je kerja kat tempat panas, perempuan boleh je kerja dekat site. Tapi bias masing-masing. Sir. Tapi zaman sekarang, sir, dia ada rubrik. Okay, apa itu rubrik? Rubrik tu, macam kertas pembakaran lah. It's like a marking paper. Okay. Dia ni menjawab dengan betul salah. Dia ni menjawab gini ni, ada 10 markah. Rubrik, at the end of the day, yang isi rubrik tu, interviewer tu juga. Let's say, I interview you, right? I like you. For no apparent reason. I see you, I just like you. I do. And because of my biases, right? My subconscious telling me that you will be a good worker, automatically I bagi you markah tinggi. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, the one who is making the judgment is a human being. And okay, the one who's making judgment is a human being. So there is no option to accept that everybody has their biases. Yes, a lot of the professionals out there yang akan interview you too, they are professionals. They will try to keep their biases aside, but it is a subconscious process. Maksudnya benda yang berlaku separuh sedar. So you have to accept that fact. Kenapa kena accept that? Why I'm telling you this? Sabar. Okay. And finally, okay, interview process is a very, very visual process. People are visual creatures. We are programmed to be attracted to pretty things. Okay, wait. Don't get me wrong. Don't panic yet. People are attracted to pretty things. When I say people are attracted to pretty things, it doesn't mean you have to look handsome. It doesn't mean you have to look pretty. What I'm saying is they are attracted to pretty things. In terms of interview process, you kenalah pemakaian kemas, kenalah rambut sisir rapi, baju kemas, bergosok, bertai, and so on kan. So, padahal kerja tak ada kena-mengena pun dengan your physical attributes, especially JKM, JKE, right? Kerja more kepada your skill. But again, people will judge you based on what they see. At the end of the day, you have to understand one simple thing. Okay, what's the summary here? Okay, the interview process is flawed. The interview process is unfair. The interview process is a very visual process. Why am I telling you this? So you have to understand one thing. A lot of you, right? a lot of you have this immaturity. You are still a bit immature. Okay, you're saying that in your head, oh, aku pointer aku 28, oh, pointer aku 3.4, pointer aku 3.6, pointer aku 2.7. Kan? Yang penting apa aku boleh buat. Rupa semua tak penting. No. That's a problem. You're looking at it too objectively, but you have to understand that the interview process is subjective. You tengok dari segi objektif, okay, pointer aku bagus, skill aku gini, aku ada gini. But you don't understand. The interview process is very subjective. So that's why what happens, right? Don't be shocked, right? Bila you habis belajar, and katakanlah pointer you 3.3, yang dapat kerja tu budak 2.8. Again, don't get me wrong. In terms of dapat kerja, pointer plays a critical role. Okay, pointer tu amat penting, don't get me wrong. In that part. So jangan tak kerja pointer tinggi kan. You have to go for a high pointer. What I'm saying that, let's say I interview 2 orang, kan? Okay, seorang 3.3, seorang lagi 3.0. Okay, roughly, yeah, 3.3 is higher than 3.0. But if I interview if the 3.0% interviews better compared to 3.3, orang 3 pointer tu interview dia lagi better daripada 3.3, 90% of time 3 pointer tu akan dapat kerja daripada 3.3. So in summary, what I'm trying to make you understand is this: don't look at interviews as objective things. There are a lot of things that are out of your hands. There are a lot of things out of your control, which we will talk about later. Okay, you have to look at it subjectively. So going for a job interview, again, this workshop is about job interview questions, but still I have to touch on this part. You have to be perfect in everything else, not only answering questions. Faham tak? So bila pergi job interview tu, pemakaian you kena perfect. Okay, pakai formal. Kemeja lengan panjang, bertie, tie bukan tie apa? Bukan tie casual, tie kurus, normal tie, seluar slack, kasut hitam, ada file, ada bag untuk letak you punya barang apa semua. Okay, girls, okay, wear simple makeup yang buat muka berseri. Okay, pakai pemakaian sesuai, kasut sesuai, and so on and so on. Pemakaian, cara duduk pun kena betul. Okay, this is very hard for me to teach online. When my class boleh belajar kan. Cara duduk, cara tangan you, the way you eye contact, okay, your smile and everything. Everything has to be perfect. Bukan setakat menjawab soalan. Everything else has to be perfect. Okay, I hope you understand that. Okay. Next, the job interview process. Okay, now, the job interview process can be done online or face-to-face, as you can see here, right? Okay, it can be 1 versus 1. Maksudnya ada satu interviewer dan maksudnya you di-interview oleh seorang saja, or in many cases 1 interviewee, lepas tu 3 orang interview, ada panel interview. Okay, so there's a lot of style in terms of how you're gonna do your job interview. But at the end of the day, before we begin, right, there is one thing that you need to keep at the end of the day, you need to remember this one golden rule. Okay, there's a lot of golden rules. Okay, the first golden rule, right? When you go for a job interview, right? Usually, not necessarily. Okay, pause before I continue. I lupa cakap. Whatever that I'm gonna give my talk about today, right? Everything is based on average, secara purata. What happens usually in the real world. Apa yang selalunya berlaku di dunia sebenar. But don't get me wrong. Ini adalah usually, but not necessarily. Selalunya tak semestinya. So meaning there will be exception to the rule. Okay, I won't touch into the exceptions and whatnot because it's going to take hours and hours and hours. I'm just saying, apa yang saya ajar ni adalah secara general, secara average. language. So katakanlah ada pakcik you, oh pakcik saya lain, makcik saya lain. Those are exceptions. Maybe jadi kepada 1/1000, 1/10,000 orang. But majority will happen based on what I teach you today. Okay? So usually, but not necessarily. Selalunya, tapi tak semestinya. Okay, now let's go back. Before you begin a job interview, usually, again, not necessarily, the interviewer will ask you a critical question that many of you will get it wrong. The first question, again, okay, I'm not going to move on to the question. The first question is, people will ask you is, okay, do you want to do the interview in English or Malay? First question. Belum apa start, belum apa duduk, they will ask you a simple question. Do you want to do the interview in English or in Malay? And many of you, 70%, 80% of you will answer, Malay lah. Sebab you tak confident, sebab you takut, sebab you risau, sebab you tak selesa, and so on and so on. Salah. Okay, you have to understand one thing, right? In the real world, in engineering field, or even in commerce field, when you do sales, when you do accountancy and whatnot, right? You have to understand one thing. People don't expect you to speak like the Americans, like the British. Would you like to have a cup of tea, mate? No. People don't expect you to speak perfect English. You have to understand that in the real world, people just want you to be competent in the language, meaning you are able to use the language in your daily life, you are able to understand it and use it in your daily life, and most important of all, you can use it in your work. Because a lot of your instructions, a lot of your meetings, a lot of your information will come in the English language. Meaning, when I say that you don't have to speak perfectly, you can speak broken English in the real world. Yes, I'm an English teacher. Yes, most English teachers will teach you, okay, you have to speak perfect grammar, you have to speak like blah, blah, blah. But in the real world, no. For example, I'll give you an example, right? You're in a meeting with your boss. Okay, I'm in a meeting with the boss. Boss Andy, I think we have to do the work slow lah. Hard lah, we want to do this work so fast. Broken English. It's not perfect, it's not good, but it's understandable. People can understand you, and you can understand other people. You understand me? So in the real world, it's very, very important. You have to demonstrate in the job interview that you can use English competently. You boleh guna English. Broken pun tak apa, it's okay. Jangan takut, okay? So when the first question comes in, okay, would you like to do the interview in English or Malay? Automatic, your answer shall be English. You shall never, ever choose Malay. Okay, berpeluhlah macam mana pun. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. My name is Muhammad Azril. I come from Johor Bahru. Boleh, tak kisah. It's okay. You have to show that you are confident, you are competent, or at least you can try to use the language. Kenapa? Once you let's take a look at the other way around, right? Okay, you choose Malay. Okay, I want to choose Malay lah. Automatic untuk majikan. Majikan ada 3 jenis. Okay, everything is connected. Sorry. I'll simplify it down to small companies, medium companies, and large companies. Large companies are international companies, MNC companies that makes roughly around billions per year. Medium companies maybe around 10 to 100 million per year. Small companies who makes maybe lower than 10 million. Okay. When it comes to medium and large companies, again, where do you want to work? Of course, you want to work for medium and large companies. Why? Because they have more. They give you a lot more in terms of benefits, salary, increment, bonuses, and so on. We'll talk about more of that later in other courses, I guess. Okay, so of course you want to work for medium and large companies, and you have to understand one thing: medium and large companies in Malaysia, okay, are usually international or MNC companies, Intel, Osram, AMD. Okay, and you have to understand one thing: the environment, the language that they use in terms of work-related communication, in terms of emails, so in terms of meetings, in terms of instruction, all of it are done in English. So if you say, I want to be Malay lah, dah feel dah. Kenapa? If you cannot even use the language in the meeting, in the interview. Macam mana nanti kalau dah kerja? Macam mana nanti kau dapat instruction dalam English? Macam mana nanti tiba-tiba you ada meeting dengan orang Australia, ada meeting dengan orang Jepun, ada meeting dengan orang Russia? Can you do your job? Again, what is a job? You have to do something, right? So if you cannot use the language, right, can you do the job? If you cannot do the job, why should I pick you? That's why I said, belum apa-apa interview dah fail. Sebab orang tu dah boleh bayangkan dah. Kan? Tak nak cakap bahasa Inggeris, takut sangat. Macam mana kalau meeting, so memang confirm budak tak boleh buat kerja. Cik orang lain lah. That's what's going to happen. So the first golden rule, always try to use English language. Sir, my English dapat E, my English dapat C, my dapat D. Again, I'm stressing one more time. In the real world, people don't care about you using perfect English. People just want to make sure you are competent in the language. And I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, everyone in this room right now, the 49 people, every one of you can understand what I'm saying right now. Betul tak? All of you are competent in the language. You are just not comfortable yet in using the language. Output tu masalah sikit. Okay, so try. Boleh? Okay. So that's the first golden rule. Always say, I will do the interview in English. Okay, let's go back. Sorry, ikhlas sekejap. So the interview process, of course, you have one by one. Okay, one person with 3 panels. Okay, and in terms of panel ni pun jangan risaulah kan. Okay, and then there are 2 types of interviews. You have interview with multiple stages. Okay, ada interview tu you pergi. Okay, pergi interview. Balik interview dah dapat dah result. Okay, Encik Ali, we are glad to offer you this position. Faham tak? But for big companies, lagi sikit. Ini more pada banking. KJP students, okay. Kalau you nak apply kerja Maybank, nak kena apply HSBC, Hong Leong, they have multiple stage interviews. This is very, very common. Okay. First stage ada 60 orang. Okay. Hari Senin. Lepas tu lagi 2 minggu, lepas 2 minggu, dia akan pilih lagi 10 orang terakhir, stage 2. Am I sharing? Can you see? Okay, share. Okay, second stage turun kepada 10 orang. Final stage 3 orang terakhir. Especially in terms of banking sector, memang style orang memang dia suka buat stage banyak-banyak. And untuk engineering not so much. Engineering dan HRD dah ada very specific set of things they want. So belum apa dia orang dah semasa interview yang pertama tu pun dia dah shortlist untuk 5 orang saja panggil. So the biggest difference between a single stage interview and multiple stage interview, maybe for the interviewees dari segi duit lah. Okay, you have to spend more money. For example, katakanlah you macam I do Johor. Okay, I interview di Maybank. Okay, tahun 2004, I guess. Maybank 2004. Okay, so pergi interview sana, I terpaksa menumpang rumah saudara. Okay, kos untuk transportation, kos untuk makan, kos untuk ulang alik Johor, kan. Lepas tu interview tu punya masa 2 minggu. I got the job, right? That's another episode, yeah. So, it will cost a lot of money. So, the interview process, you have to say one thing, it's not only tiring, but it is also very costly. It can consume a lot of your resources, in terms of money especially. So, save some money starting from now. You will be spending a lot of money just going for job interviews. Duit minyak, duit tol, nak bayar numpang bilik kawan, numpang bilik saudara. It will add up. Okay, so be careful. Okay, sorry Nabil, I ada bingkil. Sorry. Okay, so now engineering students and GP students. These ones are very important. In any job interviews, right? Okay, in most job interviews, untuk engineering students, okay, so let's go to JP first. Susah kalau ngajar campur-campur ni. Okay, kalau JP, okay, budak bisnes, basic yang you kena memang sebelum you pergi interview untuk company national atau international, bank besar semua, business mathematics, you kena revise. Okay, Budak accountancy, your basic accountancy, your cost accountancy, your taxation, your finance accountancy, and all that, you can revise. Why? So if you go for an interview for a big company, usually, right, you have to go through a test first. Ada test. Test bertulis. So untuk budak business matematik, okay, I sama PRT and all those stuff, okay. Kalau budak accountancy, those basic accountancy skill. So, hati-hati, please revise. Sebab dia akan ada test dahulu, you buat test apa semua, lepas tu baru interview. Faham tak? So, dia akan terlihat lah markah interview you tu dengan markah test. Katakanlah interview tu bagus, orang suka kat you, tu markah test you rendah. Tak dapat juga. So, jangan buang buku-buku lama anda. You have to revise. Hati-hati, especially untuk company besar. Okay, settle. GP. Engineering. Okay, dunia lain sikit. Okay. Dia depend pada jenis interview, depend pada company. Memang the variable is very hard for me to go through one by one, but basically just revise on your core skill lah. They will ask you either during the job interview itself, katakanlah dalam interview face to face ni, they will ask you verbally, or paling standard, dah habis interview semua tu, bla bla bla, okay, come misalnya, okay, masuk bilik. Dalam bilik tu katakanlah ada papan hitam, okay, ada board, atau ada mesin pneumatik, atau ada program Python, C++. Okay, dia katanya, kalau ini rosak, buat apa? Kalau ini problem, buat apa? Kalau ini problem, buat apa? So dia katanya, you punya skills knowledge. So hati-hati, jangan ingat dah habis belajar tu, you dah bebas, tak perlu nak belajar, tak boleh. Okay, untuk fresh graduate, okay, this will happen. Okay, again, our course today is for fresh graduate. Untuk yang dah veteran, dah 3-4 tahun tu lain cerita. Interview proses dia memang lain. Memang lain. But for you, they will test you in terms of your basic skills. Okay, faham JP dengan engineering? So dunia you, pastikan jangan buang buku dan brush up on your skills. Okay, any questions so far? Any questions so far? Alright.
No, sir.
Okay, so faham Okay. So let's go. So those are itu yang itu semua mukadimah je lah pengenalan introduction. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the core of the workshop today. Okay. Now, the 7 most common question. Now, before we move on to this, right, you have to understand one thing, right? I cannot teach you. No one in the world can teach you all the possible job interview questions. Tak ada siapa yang boleh ajar kamu ke semua soalan-soalan interview yang akan ditanya. Tak mungkin. Why? Because again, as I've told you before, the job interview process is a very subjective process, right? Even the questions themselves can be very, very subjective, can be varied. I'll give you case and point. Okay, I'll give you case and point, right? My experience. Okay, my experience. This one interview untuk permanent position di Putrajaya sebagai lecturer lah. Okay. So kami beratur. Ada giliran masing-masing kan. Belakang saya ni, so I'm telling the story in Malay, so you can understand the story a bit better. Belakang saya ni perempuan, free hair, cantik gila orang dia. Memang cantik. Kenapa lah? Just for your background knowledge, dia pun cantik. So saya masuk interview. Saya interview, nak dekat 25 minit. What is your achievement? What DPU buat apa? Apa you buat gini? Mengajar macam mana? Berpeluh-peluh. Saya menjawab tak apa. 25 minit saya menjawab. Berpeluh-peluh. I'm not lying, right? Again, this interview untuk confirmation. So keluar. So bila keluar tu, of course lah, keluar bilik tu, I akan borak lah dengan orang yang dah interview. Interview kau macam mana? Kita gini-gini. Lama kau interview. Bila I keluar tu, of course, perempuan belakang saya tu masuk lah. Dia masuk. Okay. Berapa pula? Dalam 5 minit, 7 minit, 8 minit tu, perempuan tu dah keluar dah. Semua orang terkejut. Cepatnya kau habis interview. Apa yang dia tanya kau? Cepat. You finish your interview in English. You finish your interview so fast. What did they ask you? What did he ask you? Right? Tak lah. Dia tanya aku, kenapa aku pakai baju warna merah hari ni? Faham tak? Dia memang aku punyalah kena kungkap apa capaian perubahan kalau nak gini. Budak cantik, kenapa pakai baju merah? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that semua lelaki gatal and so on, so on, so on. But I'm just saying, like, maybe orang tu dah bosan. Orang tu dah penat layan saya, 25 minit kan. Tanya pasal soalan-soalan yang kritikal, soalan pasal student, soalan pasal debate, soalan pasal bla 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 bla. Kalau dah penat dengan saya berceramah, orang yang next seterusnya, faham tak? So the interview process is very, very flawed. It's flawed again. It's very subjective. And people can ask you a lot of different things. Tiba-tiba orang tanya, hobi you buat apa? Main bola. Oh, you suka apa? Team mana? You suka negara mana? Oh, tiba tak tahu. Tiba-tiba mereka bola pula kan. So no one can teach you all the questions that can be asked in a job. It's impossible. Okay. But for today, what I am going to teach you is the 7 most common job interview question. So soalan ni yang paling biasa ditanya. Now you should prepare yourself to be asked that question. Okay, faham eh? So tapi kalau tanya you kenapa pakai baju merah hari ni ke, you suka tim bola mana ke, jawab je lah. Itu tak boleh ajar lah. Okay. So let's move on to the first most common question. Yang memang orang tanya. Okay. So kalau siapa yang nak salin. Oh, by the way, this session is recorded. I akan download link ni dan akan bagi video link ni pada you nantilah, you boleh revise. Tell me about yourself. What is your biggest strength? What is your biggest weakness? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? If I say the job is in Sabah, Sarawak, what would you say? Number 6, why should I choose you for this job? And number 7, they will ask you, do you have any questions? Okay, tak apa, tak salin, tak apa. I will give you the link to the recording later on, okay? Okay, let's move on to the first question. Tell me about yourself. This is the most common question in the entire world. Dalam seluruh dunia. In 99.99999% of the job interview untuk fresh graduate, yeah. Tell me about yourself will be asked from you. Orang akan tanya you, so tell me about yourself. Now, so I'll give you 1 minute. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute. I want you to think about it in your head. I want you to imagine that you are in a job interview right now. Sekarang ni I interviewer, dan you tengah cari kerja. And I'm asking you this question. Tell me about yourself. 1 minute. Think about it. How would you answer this question? Macam mana you nak jawab soalan ni? 1 minute. Think about it. Tell me about yourself. Okay, Ali. Okay, Mina. Tell me about yourself. Think about it. I'll give you 5 more seconds lah. Okay, I don't want to waste time. Okay, so I'll tell you right now, 70% of you, 60% of you roughly, okay, will answer this question this week. Okay, and of course it's the wrong answer lah. Okay, Assalamualaikum, good morning. My name is Muhammad Azri Adnan. I'm 24 years old. I am 42 years old. I am from Johor. I have a degree in TESOL. My hobby is playing football. My father is a policeman. My mother is a housewife. That's the wrong answer. But that is the majority of your answers out there. Okay, why is it the wrong answer? Okay, again, what is your situation right now? Your situation right now is that you are in a job interview. Orang tengah interview you untuk cari pekerja. Ini bukan interview untuk cari job. Bukan interview untuk cari kawan baru. Your hobbies. Penting ke untuk majikan? You suka main bola, suka baca buku, suka dengar movie, suka dengar radio? Is it important for the employers that you like to watch movies? Your mom, your dad, your father is my mom, my dad is policeman, my mother is someone. Is that any importance, have any bearing to the job that you're going to be doing? The only time that you should talk about your parents in a job interview if your parents are big shots. Kalau mama bapak you menteri ke, menteri kerja Kedah ke, menteri Johor ke, fine. And that can have some bearings. It's unfair, but it can have a positive bearing on your job interview. But other than that, okay, kalau mak bapak you macam mak bapak saya, orang biasa, B40 and so on, no one cares. Okay, no one gives a flying foot whether your mom is a housewife, your dad is a cop, and your hobby. That is the wrong answer, and you're wasting your time. You have to understand one thing. Okay, when you for this situation, your answer should be, okay, it should be a brief description of your resume. Sir. Bukan interviewer tu dah pegang ke kita punya resume? Mesti dah tahu semua kan, sir, kan? Dia kan ada pegang resume kita. Sayang. Okay, sorry, aku sayang. Dia suruh sayang. Listen to me. Yes, they have your resume. But you have to understand one thing. Diorang tak hafal resume you. You siapa? You budak fresh graduate nak minta kerja. You bukannya Datuk Siti Nurhaliza, dia nak hafal you punya resume. You bukannya siapa lagi? Tak tahulah yang famous kat Malaysia ni. Okay? You are nobody. I'm a nobody. You're a nobody. Okay? No one will take the time and try to memorize your resume. The process is like this most of the time for engineering especially. HR akan kumpul resume, dia akan cari resume yang paling kena dengan dia orang punya requirements, checklist dia. Pointer B3.3, ada SIM, okay, ada diploma dalam apa, skill dapat A, B, C, D, bagus, okay, faham tak? So, dia kumpul dalam 10 orang yang ada kriteria yang sama. Pada hari interview tersebut, on the day itself, yang interview tu bukan HR tau biasanya. Ni engineering. Dia akan pergi manager engineer, engineer manager. Okay, Encik Ali, okay, ini ada 10 orang kandidat yang kami dah kena pasti yang memenuhi syarat Encik Ali nak. Encik Ali boleh interview orang lah. So, Encik dapat 10 dokumen tu. Okay, okay. Ali masuk. Faham tak? So, jangan expect untuk orang hafal resume you, sayang. Okay, it won't happen. So, in a job interview, tell me about yourself. Yes, the interviewer is asking, tell me about who you are as a professional, who you are as an electrical engineer, who you are as an accountant, who you are as a civil engineer. Tell me about it. Faham tak? Ini interview cari kerja, bukan interview cari jodoh, bukan interview cari kawan baik. Remember that. Okay, so it should be a brief description of your resume. Okay, for example, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Tolong start dengan terima kasih. Say thank you first. Okay, terima kasih sebab bagi peluang itu. Assalamualaikum, greetings, thank you, then answer the question. Senyum. By the way, tolong senyum. Smiling can bring you a long way. For getting a job, getting a promotion, getting a wife, a husband, with your daughters, with your sons, always smile. This smiling can bring you a long way. Jangan kedekut senyum. Ini masalah sudah kita. Okay. Senyum. Okay. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. My name is Muhammad Azri Adnan. So before I answer the question, please allow me to say thank you for giving me this opportunity today. I really appreciate it. Again, tak payah perfect English, broken English pun okay. Tersengguk-sengguk pun okay. So greetings, thank you, baru saya jawab. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Before I answer your question, sir, please allow me to say my deepest gratitude. I'm really thankful for being given this opportunity today. So, about myself. So, my name is Muhammad Azri Adnan. I am, okay, first, brief description meaning. Sorry, okay. Name, age, qualification, job experience, other skills. Name, age, ni adalah you personal info. Tak perlu bagi alamat, tak perlu bagi nombor IC, tak perlu bagi email. Okay. Brief description. So, singkatkan. So, my name is Muhammad Azri Adnan. I am 42 years old. So, I'm from Johor Bahru. I have a master's in educational psychology from USM with a grade point average of 3.1 out of 4. 3.51 out of 4. And before that, I received my degree in TESOL, teaching English as a second language from University University Sarawak with a grade point average of 3.1 out of 4. And before that, I have a diploma in business administration from UiTM with a grade point average of 3.0 out of 4. For my work experience, currently, right now, I'm working at Polytechnic Tunku Sultan Nabahiyah since 2010 until today. During my work over there at PTSB, I have a lot of responsibilities, but my main core is I'm an English lecturer, and I'm responsible for teaching English classes. And of course, I'm responsible for MQA, exam administration, building test papers, and so on. Aside from my experience at PAMDA, so talk about a brief description on your resume. I won't give a complete example lah. We still have time. So just for that part, right? Just for your brief description of your resume, name, age, qualification, job experience, your skills, okay, your language skills, your computer skills, skills you learn in Polytechnic, okay, achievements in Polytechnic. Achievement ni IPTA saja. People don't care about your achievement in SPM. Ini saja. Tell me by yourself, just for this part, you should be talking for at least 5 to 6 minutes. 5 to 6 minutes. Okay? Even with the broken English, 7 to 8 minutes. Again, pause before we continue. Jangan salah faham. Do not misunderstand. The length of your interview does not equate to your success in the job interview itself. For example, jangan anggap, oh, makin lama you job interview, maksudnya makin tinggilah peluang you untuk dapat kerja. Wrong. Totally wrong. It doesn't matter. Okay, your probability of getting that job has nothing to do with how long the job interview goes for. Jangan salah faham. Okay. We'll talk about that later lah. Okay, so jangan salah faham. But for this part here, you should be talking a lot about who you are as a professional. Your name, your age, your qualification, your job experience, and your achievements. A brief description of your resume. Faham? Again, senyum, greetings, say thank you, and then answer the question. Any questions? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By the way, I takkan bagi you ayat sepatah-sepatah. Okay, you should say, thank you, sir, blah, 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 blah. Tak boleh. Okay, I'm giving you the guide in how you should answer it. So you should prepare the answer yourself. Okay, I bagi bimbingan macam mana jawab. For the exact words, you have to prepare it yourself. Okay, so no questions? Okay, let's move on. Okay, what is your biggest strength? Second question. Paling standard. Okay. The wrong answer is, I can work overtime. Ini memang standard budak-budak sudah kita akan jawab. Budak poli ke, budak universiti ke, sama yang pakai. I'm a hardworking person. I'm a people person. I'm punctual. Astaghfirullahaladzim. Sayang. This is a job interview. Okay. So you're saying that you can work overtime, hardworking, I'm a people person, I'm punctual. These are not strength. These are things that you should be doing. Faham tak? I can work overtime. First, overtime. Sayang, overtime tu maksudnya benda yang menguntungkan you. Faham tak? You kerja lebih, dapat duit lebih. And overtime pula, duit tu lagi tinggi nilai dia daripada kerja biasa. Semua orang overtime. It's not a strength. I am a hardworking person. Kerja boleh malas ke? If you are given that job, you're saying that you have an option. You can be lazy or you can be hardworking. No, there is no option. You have to be hardworking. Semua kerja kena kerja betul-betul. Semua kerja kena kerja keras. It is not an option. So it is not a strength. I am a people person. I can work well with others. Again, melainkan kalau kerja tu, again, saya salah faham. Mak saya pun B40, bapak saya B40. Saya bukan pada anda orang B40. every job, okay, melainkan kalau you peringkat SPM, kerja operator, kerja apa, diploma, degree ke atas, okay, in any organization, you have to work with other people. You have to work well with other people. It's not an option. You have to interact, you have to do meetings, you have to ask questions, you have to answer questions, you have to give instruction, receive instructions and all that. So you have to be people-oriented. So that is not a bonus for the company. That is not a strength. That is something that you have to do. Itu benda yang you memang kena buat, sayang. And finally, I am punctual. Again, as you can see, right? Because these are what people would answer in a job interview, in the real world. Saya punctual. That's my strength. Do you have an option to come late to jobs, to your work? No, you don't. Being punctual is part of your task, is part of your job. You are not given an option where you can come in late. Tak ada pilihan betul-betul lambat, sayang. So that is not strength. Faham tak? So, bila orang tanya, apa kelebihan you? Apa kekuatan you? Bukannya benda-benda yang memang sah-sah you kena buat. Okay? So, what should be the answer? The answer should be skills. Again, it is a job interview. You should be talking about your skill plus, okay, if you can, how it can be a benefit to the company. Okay, engineers, okay, pick a skill from the many workshop classes, okay, and give evidence on how you're proficient in the skill. Okay, for example, I believe I am quite skilled in AutoCAD. AutoCAD, I forgot the name of the program. I believe I'm quite skilled in AutoCAD. As you can see, I have a professional certificate from Adobe in 2022. Okay, so you give your strength and you provide your evidence. Okay, highlight bonus kalau your strength tu memang betul-betul inline dengan kamu sebut. Again, for example, katakanlah you interview untuk technician CNC. Kan? So what is your strength? Oh, I have a certificate from company Delta. Okay, dalam CNC. I have a professional certificate from CNC. It shows that I'm a master in CNC. So faham tak? Again, company nak tengok you boleh buat kerja ke tidak. Itu je. Can you do your job? So, strength in a skill and how it can benefit the company. JP. Okay, kalau JP, mungkin you, untuk accountancy tak apalah. Again, match dengan company lah. Oh, I am very good in taxation. Katakanlah you apply untuk firm yang buat tax orang kan. Okay. As you can see, I receive an A for the subject. Katakanlah you punya bukti, bukti boleh pakai you punya slip apa? You punya transcript. I'm very good in taxation. As you can see, I got an A for the subject. Boleh Okay. Ataupun untuk budak bisnes, budak marketing, okay. Your experience pun boleh pakai juga. For example, I believe my strength is in sales. During my LI, I was the top seller in my peers. There were 6 sellers around me. I had the most amount of sales in a month, 3 months in a row. For example, if you want to see evidence, this is my selling history for month January to February, January to June for 2005. Contohnya, you bawa sekali. So kena ada bukti, kalau boleh kena ada book. Yalah. So you can talk about your strength, you can talk about your experience and how, again, try to relate it to the jobs that you are applying for. Okay tak ni? Semua okay tak? Faham tak? Or am I moving too fast?
Faham, sir.
Okay, faham Okay. So, strength, justify. I'm good at Python programming. As you can see, I received an A for the subject in my class. As you can see, I have a certificate from this company tahun year 2024. For example. Kena bukti. Okay, what is your biggest strength again? It should be about your skill. Bukannya pasal overtime, bukan pasal working, bukan your person, bukan punctual. Okay. You are professionals. Act like one. What is your biggest weakness? Apa kelemahan you? Budak-budak kita jawab. I wake up late. I'm not punctual. I get angry. I'm okay. So ini tiga kategori utama. I wake up late. I'm not punctual. I get angry. Astaghfirullahalazim. Get this into your skull. The working world is not the same as your study years. You bekerja, you akan dibayar duit untuk bekerja. Jangan pula pergi interview, apa kata kelemahan you? I bangun lambat. I tak punctual. Allah. Majikan tak nak pekerja yang bermasalah. Kenapa? Bila pekerja bermasalah, dia akan buat masalah dalam company dia. Pekerja tu tak terjalan, ganggu kerja orang lain, bla 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 bla. Semua majikan nak pekerja yang bagus-bagus. Tak ada majikan nak pekerja bermasalah, sayang. Tak ada lagi majikan nak pekerja bermasalah. So, belum apa-apa lagi, you nak pergi interview, I ni pekerja masalah. I bangun lambat. Orang nak ambil kerja ke? Of course lah jawapannya, no. Janganlah dah beritahu, oh I bangun lambat, I don't like people, bla bla bla. Tak apa, janganlah. Kalau apa-apa lagi dah beritahu orang yang masalah, of course you takkan dapat ke? Okay? Or jawapan poyo, jawapan standard industry. My biggest weakness is I'm too committed to my job. If I have a job, I must finish it on time. I terlampau committed kerja, I terlampau rajin, I terlampau untuk majikan masuk tingkat kiri, kau tingkat kanan. Kenapa? Kalau I interview 100 orang, I tanya 100 orang what is your biggest weakness, okay? 70 orang, 80 orang akan jawab macam itu. I terlampau rajin, I terlampau bagus, I terlampau committed, I terlampau bla bla bla. Allah. So untuk majikan jawapan tu tak A+. Tak percaya, buka Google. Buka Google, type what is your biggest weakness in the job interview. Itulah jawapan dia. Yang semua orang jawab. No, it shouldn't be like that. You are professionals. So what should be the answer? Professional answer. Correct answer is you must describe what you are weak professionally lah. Pick a skill that is not associated with the company you are interviewing for. Maksudnya, katakanlah you nak interview untuk jawatan technician CNC. Janganlah cakap weakness you CNC. Contoh saya, I nak interview jadi English lecturer. Kan? I nak interview sebagai English lecturer. So, Mr. Azrael, what's your biggest weakness? My biggest weakness is I'm not good in English. Astaghfirullah. Janganlah. Pick a skill. My biggest weakness is in, katakanlah interview untuk jawatan CNC, pilih skill yang tak kena mana. My biggest weakness is in program or in wiring. My biggest weakness is in soldering. Faham tak? Okay, I'm not very good at welding. However, right now I'm learning through YouTube in order to improve myself. Weakness and what you are doing to overcome it. Okay. Kita sekejap, pause sekejap. A big warning. Never ever dan jawapan ni memang jawapan 50% akan jawab sini. My biggest weakness is in English. I'm not confident in the language. No, tak perlu. Tak perlu. Jangan sesekali jawab your weakness in English. Number one, macam kata tadi, your golden rule is always answer your interview in English. Dah jawab English lah. Number two, kalau you dah jawab dalam bahasa Inggeris, tak payah sibuk kata you tak bagus bahasa Inggeris. It's not important. It's not important. Okay, again, in the real world, your communication, your instruction, your books, your references, your meeting will be done in English. So tak perlu jawab you are bad in English. Pick a skill you're not good at as a professional and how you are trying to overcome it. My biggest weakness is that I'm not really good with Photoshop right now. But right now I'm trying to learn from YouTube and from my friends in order to improve myself. So please pick a skill yang tak ada kena-mengena dengan jawatan yang you apply lah. Okay. So, okay. Any questions? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years time? Okay. Di mana anda lihat diri anda dalam masa 5 tahun? Okay. Now, in job interviews, right? Job interviews are it is a perception process. How people perceive you, macam mana orang pandang you, macam mana orang lihat you. Again, perception is unfair, it's biased, and all that. But sometimes, in a job interview itself, right, there are trick questions, soalan-soalan yang bukannya trick lah. Veteran orang dah jadi majikan 10 tahun, 20 tahun, orang dah interview orang 10 kali, 20 kali, 100 kali kan. Dia ada style orang. Dia akan tanya soalan, di mana soalan tu direka bukan nak tahu jawapan sangat. Soalan tu ditanya untuk nak tengok you macam mana. So that's a trick in that. For example, right? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Okay, pause. Before we move on, another something that you need to understand. Okay? Sorry, everything is connected. Semuanya berkait. Second golden rule. Undang-undang nombor 2. Okay? You have to understand this. First, must answer your interview in English. The second golden rule is, okay, you have to understand that employers hate short-term employees. Ini kena ingat. Majikan tidak suka pekerja short-term. High turnover rates. Okay, they don't like it. Proses mengambil pekerja ni is a very resource-consuming process. Time, money, and the actual job being done. Panjang proses dia kan. Nak mula-mula nak pekerja berhenti, nak buat iklan jawatan kosong, nak tengok resume, nak pilih resume, panggil interview. Kalau interview sukses apa? Kalau interview 3 stage. Lepas tu kalau dah pilih you pula, nak kena daftar you, EPF, LSP, so latihan, bla 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 bla. So katakanlah jawatan tu orang tu berhenti bulan Januari. Okay? So start cari pekerja bulan Januari. Ambil you katakanlah bulan Mac. Kerja tu siapa buat? Kerja tu. Mungkin orang lain buat. I kena bayar OT. I ambil bulan Mac. Bila you masuk kerja, you will not be an effective worker. You will not. You have to train first. Familiarize yourself first. Kenal kawan-kawan dulu, kenal kawan sekerja, kenal tempat kerja. You will be an effective worker maybe roughly 2 months after it. Paling awal 2 bulan. So Januari, ambil bulan Mac, lepas 2 bulan. Bulan 6, baru kerja tu, the actual job is being done efficiently. Lepas tu tiba-tiba bulan 9 you berhenti. Sama belajar. Tak sama belajar. Tak stres. Tak sakit hati. Sebab tu sekarang ni, mana-mana pekerja masuk, dia akan bagi kontrak setahun minimum. Sebab majikan tidak suka pekerja short term. It costs money, it costs time, it costs a lot of resources. Why am I telling this? Okay, dengar sini. Someday, you will experience this one person. This one guy, one girl. Okay? Style dia kerja mati. Kerja situ 2 bulan, ke sana 2 bulan, ke sini 3 bulan. Maybe they have a good looking face or whatnot, whatever reason lah. Mungkin they are lucky and there's a lot of factors, right? Dia cerita, kau kerja mana? Oh, kerja situ 2 bulan. Sini 3 bulan. Kenapa? Oh, aku nak cari pengalaman. Mana-mana kalau dia try kerja untuk international companies, big MNCs and whatnot, right? Majikan tengok, tanya sikit, confirm. Lepas tu, orang tak nak bekerja lah. Majikan tidak suka pekerja short term. They prefer long-term employees. Okay? Be very careful. Sir, betul lah. Kalau kerja 3 bulan, pengalaman situ, 3 bulan. No, sayang. No. Untuk engineer, optimum, untuk you berhenti kerja, roughly 2 years. Yes, untuk engineers memang normal for you untuk lompat-lompat kerja. Is encouraged. Sebab you lompat kerja lah, lagi banyak salary dapat. That's another topic lah. Okay? But optimum 2 years. 1 year is pushing it. Optimum 2 tahun. Baru boleh lompat company. Bukan 2 bulan. 2 tahun. Yeah. So let's go back. Okay. So where do you see yourself in 5 years time, right? So majikan tak nak pekerja short term. Don't takut. Sebab buang masa kalau ambil kerja. Kan? Okay. So jawapan yang salah as usual. I want to put them in 5 years time, I have a degree lah. Dia kata, oh, degree. Oh, bila nak sama belajar? When do you want to further study degree? Maybe next December? Sekarang bulan Jun. You kata bulan Disember sama belajar. So, you nak kerja 6 bulan saja. Of course, tak ada. Majikan tidak suka pekerja short term. Okay. Tapi, sir, kan lagi better kalau sambung degree. Kan? I nak sambung degree, tapi I nak kerja bla-bla. I don't know. This one I cannot. Legally, I shouldn't be telling you anything about this. Okay, it's up to you. Sebab kalau you nak sambung degree, tapi kalau you kerja, you akan sign contract. Dalam kontrak tu akan tulis berapa penalti, berapa bayaran yang kena bayar balik kalau you berhenti bawah kontrak and so on, so on. So this is something that you have to decide on your own. Okay, but as a lecturer, I'm telling you right now, go for your degree lah, of course lah. That's another story. It's lain. Okay, tak payah melewah. Okay. So jawab salah. I want to further my studies. Salah. I want to open my own business. Memang salah. Oh, in 5 years time, I see myself opening my own shop. I want to open a bakery. Kenapa? Majikan ni dah hafal. Dah hafal dah. Pekerja yang ada 2 kerja. Satu kerja tetap, satu lagi bisnes online. Majikan tak suka. Memang majikan tak suka pekerja yang ada 2 kerja. Kenapa? Sebab ke office, buat kerja tapi handphone sibuk tengok dia punya bisnes, sibuk account dia, sibuk call klien dia, sibuk tiba hilang di sana sini. Again, employers are selfish. Most employees, majority 99% are selfish. Because I pay you money to work for me. But kalau daripada pukul 9 sampai pukul 5 tu, you spend masa untuk kerja lain, that is not fair to me. Because I'm paying you for your time. They are selfish. And they are correct. They are paying you money for your time. Tapi you guna masa tu untuk buat kerja lain. Majikan nampak kalau you dah ada memang minat berniaga apa semua ni, and dia akan follow up. Oh, so do you have your own business right now? Do you sell? Oh, I jual online ni. Oh, tengok online ni my TikTok. Ini my Shopee address. You boleh tengok. Memang seronok cerita address TikTok apa semua. Tapi kerja tak ada. Baik. Kenapa? Sebab dia tahu kalau dia ambil you bekerja, you akan buat 2 kerja dalam satu masa. So salah ke? Okay. Bukan salah you berniaga. It's not wrong. In fact, I tell you right now, if you want to make money, do business. 9/10 rezeki datang daripada berniaga. Settle. I do encourage you do business. Tapi kita punya konteks workshop ni adalah pasal mencari kerja. Jangan salah faham. So, I want to focus on getting a job. So, if you do want to get a job, don't talk about your side hustle, your side income, your side business, whatever. Don't talk about it. Keep it a secret. Dah bekerja pun, keep it a secret. Okay? Next. I want to be a housewife. I want to travel the world. So they see that you don't really have a priority. So when you say you want to be a housewife and so on, nampak sangat-sangat lah you memang dah ada boyfriend. And again, it's not wrong having a boyfriend, it's not wrong having a husband. They can see that you are not really motivated for the position. Okay, you nak kerja sekejap, dah kahwin nak berhenti. Again, majikan tidak suka pekerja short term. The goal for this question, tell me where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? The goal of the question is, okay, I'll give you the correct answer first. I see myself promoted in this company to be a team leader or supervisor or assistant engineer. Okay, so that should be your answer. Your answer is you naik pangkat dalam company yang you tengah interview tu. I see myself in 5 years time, I want to be assistant manager kalau interview Intel, in Intel. Faham tak? So, first you show motivation. But second, it shows that you memang tak ada niat nak sama belajar. You memang tak ada niat. Again, there will be a follow-up question. Okay? Why don't you further your studies degree? You so smart, you so young, blah blah blah. Bila dia follow up macam itu, jawablah ayat-ayat sedih. Actually, it's not that I don't want to, but I just can't afford it. My mom and dad are very poor. I have 5 siblings, and my mom and dad don't really have the money to support my siblings to further their studies. So I really want to help my siblings so that all of us can be successful. If I do want to further my study degree, only part-time lah. Faham tak? Kalau nak sambung pun part-time. Jawab macam tu. Where was I? Okay. Ikhlas sikit. Another point. Okay. Tolong. Bila you nak buat cerita sedih dalam interview, boleh. Okay, my parents are not that rich. I lost my father when I was a kid, when I was young, so it's only me and my mother. Boleh, cerita sedih. Sad stories are good in the job interview. Boleh. But don't take it too far. Because it happens a lot, you know. Kenapa tak sambung degree? Papa saya meninggal. Jangan mak saya. you're just making the situation awkward. You're making the situation worse. What happened is, bila you dah menangis-nangis macam itu, interviewer dah, you don't know what to do. They feel awkward. Dia orang takut dengan you. So when they have that awkwardness, when they feel that they have that fear of the interview with you. So you tiba-tiba sangat menangis sangat. Will you get the job? Most possibly no. Most probably no. You will not get a job because you made this situation jump from the professional context into a very personal context. Never go there. You can tell sad stories. It's good. People will have empathy. People will feel sorry for you, and then you will get higher chance of getting the job. But never ever go to full blown nangis-nangis tersebut. Betul, ada antara kamu yang anak yatim. Betul, antara kamu ada yang hilang ayah. Betul, ada hilang mak. Betul. I'm not denying your sad stories. I'm saying don't cry. Never ever cry in a job interview. You're just making it worse. You understand me? I hope you understand. Okay? So yes, soal kuat sikit. Dalam office. Okay. So I see myself promoted in Osram. And I want to be a team leader in this company. I want to be a supervisor. I want to be an assistant engineer. Okay. Any questions? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So okay, double reply. I know you're listening. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Why should I choose you for this job? Another favorite question by employers. Kenapa dia pilih you? Kalau lambat lagi orang macam you. Diploma macam you, pointer macam you, bla 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 bla. This question is very common, but it is asked because at the end of the day, the employer is just feeling conflicted. Most of the time, dia kata soalan ni sebab in specific cases where the interview goes well, but they are not convinced by you. Faham tak? Maksudnya ni, you interview tu berjalan dengan baik, kan? Dia memang suka dengan you, tapi it's just not enough. Mungkin dia suka orang sebelum ni. Mungkin kriteria you macam tak memenuhi bias dia. Faham tak? So they are just trying to get something more from you, right? Try to, dia minta, basically they say, tolonglah, bagilah tahu something yang buat saya lebih suka dekat you. That's the question. That's the real question. They are just not being decisive in that. Okay, usually lah, not necessarily. Why should I choose you for this job? Interview bagus, tapi you still macam ada satu kurang lagi. So your answer is a bit of a repetition actually of your strength. Reiterate either your strength or your achievements yang boleh relate dengan company. Of course, again, for example, you should choose me for this job because, as you can see, I have a certificate in CNC from Intel in 2024. And since this job requires me to become a CNC technician, I believe I can be a valuable asset to your company. Match kan? Skill you dengan company. Convince them that you are suited for the job. Or you can talk about achievements. I believe that you should choose me for this job because I believe that I can be a valuable asset to your company. I have very good leadership skill. For example, during my part of the APP program, and I'm the ESCO for AJK Kebajikan. Yeah, you can code mix. During that time, I learned valuable skills in leadership in organization, and I believe that I can use that skill over here when I work with other people. I found out leadership skill. Sorry. So there are two skills that are valuable. I first say your technical skills and your leadership skill. Okay. Ikhlas sekejap. Leadership skills very important for my students untuk tahu lah. For other students. Leadership skill is very, very valuable. What are leadership skills? Leadership skills shows that you have worked in an organization. You can work well with other people. Why? Why do employers value this so much? Okay, so my leadership experience ni mesti IPTA ke atas. People don't care about your pengawas, ketua pengawas, sekolah menengah. People don't care. IPTA, PP, Watania, jabatan mechanical, jabatan electrical, Pusat Islam, AJK Islam, okay? Those kind of thing. Why? Sebab you have to understand, diploma, degree, master, okay, you akan ada orang bawahan, you akan ada orang atasan. You tengah-tengah, usually. So, if you're in the middle, meaning that you kena pandai menerima arahan dan pandai memberi arahan. Sebab you ada orang bawahan, that's one. Second, can you work with orang atasan you? Can you work well with orang bawahan you? So, this kind of skill can especially be learned or people can identify through your experience masa you belajar dan you ada masuk tak apa-apa badan-badan organisasi lain. When you join organisation, MPP, Pusat Islam, Wataniah, you train, you learn how to work well with others. And it translates well in the real world. Sebab tu macam ni, you Wataniah, you MPP, you JK, it is a very good indicator that you can work well with others. Majikan tidak suka pekerja masalah. Contohnya, katakanlah saya kerja, kena sumbang. Okay, ada problem, tak tahu. Saya buat bodoh. Apa jadi? Kerja saya teruk. Or, ada orang tanya saya soalan. Azril, macam mana dengan masalah ni? Kau ni bodoh lah, ada degree tak tiba kerja. Bergaduh satu office. Majikan tidak suka pekerja bermasalah. So, leadership skill translate to working well with other people. So, ikhlas kejap. Untuk you dalam kelas ni, I do recommend join lah mana-mana MPP, Wataniah, pusat apa semua, organisasi. Organisasi luar politeknik pun boleh, tapi hati-hati sebab ada banyak scammer. Itu yang I risau. That's it. Let's go back. Okay. So why should I choose you for this job? Again, talk about your strength, talk about your qualities, and how it reflects to the company. Okay. Again, company sees their employees as assets rather than expenses. Company value you. Okay. Hiring you would create value for the company. Hence, you have to understand. Gaji pula, ramai orang tak faham tau sistem gaji ni tau. It's swasta lah. Government is another different piece. I'm talking about private sector. Private sector sebab kerja kosong banyak dekat private. You have to understand one thing. There is a formula actually untuk bayar gaji pekerja. Dia bukan susun kata, you gaji jual tu lah. Gaji you 8,000 lah. Tak apa. There is actually a formula. Usually it's 1 to 3. Usually, not necessarily 1 to 3. And above lah, 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, 1 and above. Minimum 1 to 3. Meaning, if I pay you a salary of 2,000 ringgit, right? Your value to me is 6,000 ringgit minimum. Meaning, kerja yang you bagi kepada saya, nilai dia kalau kita RM, I bagi gaji RM2,000, tapi pulangan kamu kepada company dalam RM6,000 minimum. Faham tak? So that's why, untuk mana-mana company yang bagus, diorang lihat, makin tinggi nilai you, makin besar dia anggap you sebagai satu aset. Kalau I bayar gaji RM5,000, in my opinion, minimum, you akan bawa pulangan kepada company kami sekurang-kurangnya RM5,000. Itu minimum. Usually it's a lot higher lah pada formula dia. So, good company sees you as an asset. So, you should show to the company how you can be an asset. In terms of your skill or in terms of your leadership abilities. Faham? Sir, I pandai menyanyi. I pandai main bola. Those are not real skills. Those are not real valuable. In certain aspect, they can be, but in a job interview, they don't really see it. Unless you're lucky lah. We'll talk about later lah. Okay, never mind. Itu dah mimpi lah. Okay, any questions? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, again, don't worry. I will send this video to you later on. Next question. Okay, if I say the job is in Sabah, Sarawak, what would you say? Kalau ni kerja ni kat Sabah, Sarawak, you okay tak kerja Sabah, Sarawak? This is another trick question. Another trick question. First, ikhlas kejap. Sorry, ikhlas banyak. So, no, kerja Sabah, Sarawak. Kalau you dapat peluang, I sarankan you pergi. Memang seronok. I pernah kerja Sarawak 4 tahun. You tanyalah siapa pernah kerja Sabah, Sarawak, memang seronok untuk kerja Sabah, Sarawak. Kerja lah, okay? Kerja lah. Okay, let's go back. So, untuk majikan, you have to understand one thing, right? Diorang tak nak pekerja yang bermasalah lah. Simple. I bagi you duit, you buat kerja. Settle. Okay? Okay? Dah. Kan? Tapi, of course, kita ni manusia, memang ada yang manusia macam ragam. One key indicator yang diorang takut adalah, bukan takut lah, diorang elakkan adalah jenis-jenis orang yang tak boleh handle tanggungjawab. Diorang still fikir diorang ni budak-budak. Diorang still fikir diorang ni student. Diorang still fikir diorang ni they have a lot of demands and all that. One key indicator is, kalau budak-budak ni, fresh graduate kan, this interview for fresh graduate, if they have this they have this hesitance when it comes to be far away from their parents. Tak boleh jauh daripada mak ayah. Jangan salah faham kan. Saya mak ayah you bagus, I pun sayang mak saya, semua saya mak adik, alhamdulillah bagus. Duduk dekat mak bapak pun bagus, tak ada masalah. But for employers, bila dia tengok, tanya soalan ni, if kerja ni Sabah Sarawak okey lah. Dia cuma nak tengok reaksi muka you. Jawapan dan cerita. Jawapan satu dunia, jawapan sama. The entire Malaysia will give the answer. What's the answer? Jawapannya sama juga. I would love to work in Sabah Sarawak. I'm a very independent person. I think it would be a good opportunity for me to learn about new places. I love making new friends. I love living at new places. Basically, your answer is yes. I love to work at Sabah Sarawak. I love to go over there. I love to work over there for 3 or 4 years because I'm a very independent person. Okay? Jawapan semua orang memang salah. But that's not the point. That's not the point. Untuk majikan, untuk employer, senang je. We look at your facial expression. Itu je. Okay, tapi kerja ni kat Sabah, kat Sarawak, you okay tak? Sabah. Sarawak. Itu je. Itu je. That's what you want to see. If you panic, if you have that stressed out face, and nampak sangat, it's not about tak boleh jual mak ayah you. It's about this. There's a lot of instances where employers have to deal with children in the workplace. Dia terpaksa deal dengan budak-budak di pekerja. Mina, you salah buat ABC ni. Sorry lah, nangis. When you cry in the workplace, you just made the situation from professional environment into a very personal environment. Padahal bos you mana pasal kerja, you menangis. It became too personal. And it shouldn't happen. Ali, buat kerja ni. Bos orang lain lah, kena berhenti kerja lah. Banyak kerja lah, dia kerja sikit lah. Dah. That is not an adult way of handling the situation. And usually, these kind of people are people who never leave their hometown. Membesar kat sini, dekat Kota Baru, dan kerja belajar Kota Baru, kerja Kota Baru. Ada masalah sikit, meletup. Ada masalah sikit, menangis. How would the employer deal with you? Dia dah ambil you kerja. Dia dah bayar gaji. Nak kerja lain, nak kena interview, nak kena bla bla bla, nak kena KWSP, nak kena training, bla bla. You're just making the situation bad for everyone. That's why employers are very, very worried. Kalau ada orang salah pilih pekerja yang tidak matang. Faham tak? So, the question. So let's get back to the question. If I say the job is Sabah Sarawak, okay tak? You number one. Okay, third rule. Sentiasa aspek soalan ini akan ditanya. Tapi jangan tiba dalam interview. Sir, tak tanya kau soalan ni. Janganlah macam tu. Okay, jangan minta ditanya. Tapi aspek. So, tiba-tiba, tapi kerja ke Sabah okey tak? You know? Okay, I'm fine with Sabah. I love new places. I think Sabah is a very beautiful state, and I would love to work over there for 3-4 years. I'm a very independent person. Senyum. Aspect. Confident. Sir. Tapi, I memang tak boleh jauh dengan bapak saya. Tak jauh dengan adik saya. Mak saya seorang. Okay, pause. Kelas sekejap. You have to understand the nature of job interviews, the nature of job offers, right? A lot of you still don't understand that. I bukan ajar menipu di bulan puasa ni, tapi you understand what I'm saying, right? The nature of a job interview is that you have to get that job offer first. You understand me? Interview, lepas tu dia bagi you job offer. Dia bagi you contract, Selagi mana you tak sign contract tu, there shall be no problems. Contohnya, case in point me lah, case in point I interview, habis kerja ke swasta, because I know that nanti nak start kerja lambat lagi kan, pusing lambat lagi. So interview ke swasta, interview, tiba dah habis interview, nak balik the call, ada dalam bus, ada bus awak tak ada duit. Okay, Encik Azriel, we're happy to offer you the job as a lecturer, blah blah blah. Can I ask about the salary? Salary. Okay, we offer salary RM1,200, RM1,200, RM1,200. You have to teach 40 hours a week. 40 jam seminggu, RM1,200. Is this a joke? Tanya. No, it's not a joke. Yeah, we can only. But can you at least offer me RM2,000 and lower the hours, maybe around 18 hours, 20 hours maximum per week? Oh, tak boleh. Bos saya kata ini. Kalau macam itu tak apalah, I terpaksa reject your offer lah. Okay, thank you. Cik Lilo lah kan, ya, marah. Cik Lilo kan. You have to understand one thing. Going for a job interview is a very resource-consuming process. Macam saya tak ada kereta, tak ada motor, saya naik bas. Saya naik bas, ulangan naik bas, lepas tu kalau you mungkin naik Grab, lepas tu naik minyak motor, minyak kereta, parking kena bayar, berjalan, berpeluh, and so on. It's a very time-consuming, money-consuming process, right? So your goal every time you go for a job interview is one. There should be only one goal. Get the job offer. Dapatkan offer kerja tersebut. Bila offer tu datang, dia tengok offer tu, okay, jawatan bla bla bla, penempatan Sabah. Tolak. Oh, I'm sorry but I have to reject the offer sebab mak saya sakit. Pandailah buat alasan kan, mak saya sakit. Saya memang nampaknya saya tak dapatlah peluang keemasan untuk kerja Sabah. Oh yeah, sorry. Because most of the time, if I see the job is in Sabah Sarawak, dia bukannya kerja kat Sabah Sarawak pun. Dia cuma nak trick you je. Dia nak tengok tahap kematangan you je. Kan? So jangan dapatkan job offer. Why am I frozen? Dapatkan job offer tu dulu. Okay. Tengok tu, jangan sign. Kalau apa-apa yang tak setuju, bincang dahulu. Kalau setuju, baru sign. Tak setuju, tak payah sign. Because for every job interview that you go to, you will spend money, time, and effort. So make sure you get the job or sorry, banyak kelas sikit. Any questions? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move on. Okay. The last question. Do you have any questions? Ini yang paling geram kan sudah kita ni. Dah habis interview, dah hujung interview kan? Interview tanya. Okay, Encik Ali. Okay, Encik Adib. Okay, Mr. Eric. Okay, Madam Nur. Okay, Salini. Do you have no question? Okay, ataupun what's salary? Okay. First, let's talk about salary first. Okay. You can only ask about salary at the final stages of the interview. Okay, sabar. Sir, bukan tamak ke tanya about salary? Okay, here's the thing. For my example right now, my previous example kan, I dapat offer mengajar lecturer, gaji 1,200 mengajar 4 jam. 1,200 nak makan apa? Minyak, tambang, apa semua. Kalau I dah kerja, masih 1,200, lepas tu I dengar kawan I gaji 2,000, 3,000, I nak berhenti. Tak elok pula kerja sekejap kan. So, in terms of salary, you have to understand one thing. You have to understand that there is a certain threshold where the salary can be too low. Gaji teramat rendah, di mana kerja tersebut jadi tak berbaloi. Bukan milih kerja, jadi tak berbaloi. So be careful. So salary is a very important thing. So you don't waste your time, right? So, but if you want to ask a question about salary, it must be in the final stages of the interview. Fine saja. Meaning, kalau interview ada 3 stage, katakanlah tinggal stage terakhir, dia ada shortlist kepada 3 orang saja, boleh tanya, it's okay, memang boleh tanya. Mana-mana profesional, mana-mana majikan akan tak ada masalah you tanya pasal gaji peringkat terakhir. Yang bermasalah kalau majikan-majikan yang tak baik. Itu saja biasanya. Biasanya majikan tak baik. Semua companies. Kan? Tanya gaji je kan. Kerjalah dulu. Itu memang standard tactical majikan yang memang menggunakan pekerja dia. Not all the time, but usually most of the time. But in big companies, medium companies, semua orang faham. Gaji itu memang penting. You kerja untuk gaji, bukannya kerja untuk kerja. You memang kerja untuk gaji. They will understand it, they will respect it. Right? So don't worry too much. But ask only on the final stage, bukan on the early stages. Okay, so katakanlah interview tu 3 stage, pada stage terakhir. Or if there is a single stage interview, okay, itu memang tanyalah di penghujung tu. Sebab apa? Sebab you kena tahu lah berbaloi tak berbaloi. Sebab mungkin ada itu kedap, kerja pelik. You have to understand, you have to make sure it's worth your time to work that. Okay, salary question is very okay, no problem. Okay, professional semua akan respect, tak masalah. But what you should be asking instead of salary, okay, just salary, you should be asking about the job itself. That's why you need to show your interest, your eagerness in the actual work. And faham tak? A professional should be concerned about their task. You are professional, for example. Okay, do you have any question? I do have questions. So which software are we using to develop the program? Is it Python version 2 or Python version 1? I'm very familiar with Python version 2. So I nak you bila you tanya soalan tu kan, I nak you imagine yang macam seolah-olah job offer tu. It's a bit of legal psychology, but I'm not going to delve in much into it. But I want you to answer as if you already got the job. So which department will I be working in? Do I work in the human resource or do I work in sales? I prefer working in sales. Jawab seolah-olah you dah dapat kerja tu. Faham tak? It's a bit of legal psychology. Orang tu pun akan termakan kata you, dia pun akan anggap yang you dah dapat kerja. That's a long story lah. But answer as if you already got the job. When I promote the credit card, what kind of limits do we have on the credit card? Is it 20,000 or 80,000? If I promote the shares, the sale shares, what's the minimum amount of investment should I expect from the clients? So tanya soalan seolah-olah macam you dah dapat kerja tu, macam you nak start kerja dah. So it shows your eagerness, it shows your positivity, it shows that you know what you're doing. So those are the questions that you should be asking. Bukannya soalan tak ada. Tak ada. Yang this kind of people, right? Their mentality is this. Cepat dia nak masuk interview, nak cepat habis. Macam jawab exam. Bukan sayang. Bukan. Interview process is where you promote yourself as a professional to show that you fit well with the company. Jangan cepat habis. Okay. Wrong answer. Ni kita setengah wrong, kita ambil wrong answer pula. Do you have any questions? Kena kerja lama tak? Kena balik lambat tak? Tak balik lambat sebab nanti mak ayah marah. Astagfirullah. Kalau outstation nanti siapa yang nak bayar duit minyak? Ini pasal tadi ini dah masuk part lain. Jangan sibuk pasal duit minyak lagi, jangan sibuk pasal tu lagi. Itu nanti masa dah. Jawapan paling sengal lah pernah dapat. Kalau kerja ni start pukul 9, kalau I lambat sikit boleh tak pukul 10? Nak masuk pukul 10 lah. Kenapa Kenapa nak masuk pukul 10? Masalah peribadi encik. Kenapa apa masalah peribadi? Tak boleh nak cerita. Allahu Akbar. Maksudnya jenis malah nak mengawal. Tolong Itu bukan company bapa you. It's not your parents' company. You have to be professional. Tak boleh lah nak demand macam-macam. Belum start kerja ni. Do you have any question? Ni ada OT kan? Boleh kan OT setiap hari kan? No, that should be your focus. Okay. Any questions? Do you have for this part? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a question, sir. Sir, just now you spoke about the salary, right? You're asking about when the final stage of the interview, right?
Yes.
How to figure it out? Macam mana kita nak masa itu sudah sampai nak tanya salary?
Okay, you ask salaries at the end of the job interview. If they ask you, do you have any question, right? At the end, bukan permulaan, at the end, okay? So please mute your mic, sir. Kevin.
Okay, sir. Yes,
mute
sir.
Mute your mic. It's too loud.
Okay, sir. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Okay, Kevin. You can ask about salary. It's okay. It's a professional question. But at the end of job review, okay, Mr. Kevin, do you have any questions? First, tanyalah pasal job dulu. Okay, can I ask about the software? Can I ask about the department? Can I ask about the limits of the perimeter? Where should I find my clients? Is it only in Johor? Find in Malaysia? So first, you start off your questions about the job itself. Again, ask questions as if you already started working over there. The last question. Oh, so for my final question, what's the salary for? Okay, what's the salary for this position? Itu soal terakhir. Soal terakhir. So can I ask about the salary for this position? Can I ask about the wages for this position? What's the income for this position? Boleh. Soalan terakhir sekali. Sebab dia more kepada macam some people is a bit sensitive lah. You just want to keep it down low. So ask it as a fun question. Okay. Salary pula. Okay. Ni iklan. Salary pula masalahnya apa tahu. It doesn't reflect your total income for a year. Ini orang mesti tak faham tau. You jangan tengok. Okay, ni kelas sekejap. Tak kena mengenai dengan interview. You don't look at basic salary only. You have to look at the allowances. You have to look at the yearly increments. You have to look at the bonuses. You have to look at the benefits. For example, banyak orang kita, dia tengok, oh gaji basic 2,000, betul ada OT. No, you shouldn't look at that way. I'll give you an example. I pernah kerja kat satu kuliah swasta, kursus Mopat Muar. I masuk kerja. Masa masuk I tahu, yang lecturer so I demand 2,000. Yalah 2,000 kan, benda besar lah tu kan. Taklah besar mana pun, 2,000. Dapat 2,000. I masuk kerja, I kerja 3 bulan, 4 bulan, buat tu. Dalam tu ada dalam 13-14 lecturer saja untuk satu college. And then they told me this. Real, kau tahu tak Real? Engkau gaji paling besar kat sini. Gaji aku 2,000 je kot. Orang ada yang dah kerja 7 tahun, 8 tahun, ada yang kerja 9 tahun. Betul Real. Kat sini tak ada kenaikan gaji tahunan. Adalah sekali 4-5 tahun tu pelarasan gaji, lepas tu tak pernah naik gaji. So ada orang tak pernah naik gaji. So you don't really. That's why I said, get the job offer, look at the details, look at the salary, look at the bonuses, look at the kenaikan tahunan. There's a lot of detail. Even though you make, okay, pause sekejap. This is what really angers me, right? Kalau you baca berita, baca media sosial sekarang kan, oh, engineer, starting salary 2,300, aku kerja kena makan gaji 3,100. That's stupid. That's idiotic. You know why? Case in point. Again, okay, untuk my student tahu lah kan, ada cerita ni, but I'm telling for other students. Case in point. I started salary 1,007. My wife lah, swasta. My wife tahun 2017, started salary 2,300. Engineer. Kan? Oh, dah wasik keluarga. 2,300 je. Aku SPM ni kerja kilang gaji aku 4,000, 5,000, bla 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 bla. 2017, my wife started salary 2,300. 2024, my wife salary 7,300. Income tahunan dia 110,000. You don't look at starting salary. You look at the company's punya career track. Adakah kenaikan gaji dia bagus? Adakah dia punya bagus adil? Adakah dia punya bonus besar? You look at all those things. So that's why salary, asking question about salary can be a bit of a double-edged sword. Contohnya, company besar, Intel, pergi interview. You dah interview bagus semua. So what salary? Oh, the salary we give for starting salary is 1,600. Ini 1,600. Oh, rendahnya. Kan? Interview company C, kami rendah sikit. Salary berapa? 2,300. Tapi tak faham. Intel punya kenaikan gaji macam mana? Bonus macam mana? Lepas 5 tahun macam mana rupa gaji you? You don't see that. So that's why asking about salary is not very important than knowing about the company. Faham tak? If a company, established company, international, especially MNC company, that is a very good company to work for. Because why? They follow the rules. Ini kan, tapi lah ini another story lah, rules undang-undang. Okay, so salary is only a small part of a job. Banyak lagi benda yang you kena ambil tahu. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Okay, good. Any other questions? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So in your case, right? Should you ask for salary? Boleh, tanya. Tapi, are you matured enough to understand that salary is not everything? Do you understand that? Are you matured enough to understand that salary is not everything? Belum faham tu kenaikan gaji, bonus, panel klinik, insurance, those things add up. Okay. So do you have any questions? Okay, sorry. So again, should you ask for salary? Depends on a lot of factors lah. Is it small or a big company? Are you desperate for a job? Do you think the job is worth it with Malaysian minimum wage? Depend lah. Okay, done. So those are the 7 questions in the job interview. Common question. 7 soalan yang paling standard orang tanya. So again, nanti akan bagi video lah, you boleh tengok betul So dah go through. Next. So challenges in a job interview. The most common challenges. Okay. You're nervous. Okay. Nervous is common. Nervous is common. Everybody is nervous. Tak ada orang tak nervous. Memang semua nervous. So what should you do? Prepare untuk soalan-soalan tersebut. Okay. Expect soalan-soalan yang akan tanya. Okay. Macam mana nak jawab. So it alleviates some of those nervousness. Because of your lack of preparation, bertambah nervous lah. Okay. You should never be uncertain about the company and your role. Ini paling wajib. Engineers, JKM, JKE, JKA, paling wajib. You should know the company you're applying for. You should know about the position you're applying to. Ini paling wajib. Okay. Okay. Bias, there's nothing you can do. Everybody is biased. Katakanlah you pergi interview, kan? Okay. Tak apa, we'll talk about this later. Okay. Dah macam. Okay, tak apa. This one is the most important one. Okay. Failing your job interview. AKA, also known as not selected for the position. Now, this one is very important for JP especially. JKN, JKE, JKA lah. Katakanlah you pergi interview. 1 interview, fail. 2 interview, fail. 3 interview, fail. What's wrong? And here, the thing is, right, you have to understand one thing. You pergi interview, you point 3.3. Mamat tu 2.7 dapat kerja. You tak dapat kerja. You pergi interview, you sembahyang 5 waktu, you doa betul, bla bla bla. Mamat yang minum arak, yang isap dadah, yang main perempuan dapat kerja. You tak dapat kerja. Why? Interview process again is a very subjective process. For example, okay, katakanlah interview, tiba-tiba kita kurang staff lelaki lah. Dalam office tu semua perempuan, tak siapa nak kat barang. So, yang lelaki dapat kerja. Kenapa? You masuk kerja, you seorang lelaki. Rupa-rupanya memang dapat kerja. You seorang lelaki. Sebab you lah jadi tukang angkat bar. It's very common. Or, interview. Oh, kami perlukan Indian lah pula. So, siapa nak kerja waktu raya, siapa nak kerja bulan puasa, siapa nak kerja masa waktu buka. So, dia terpasang Indian. So, yes, even though let's say yang siapa lah dia kurang qualified, tapi dia dapat kerja tu sebab situasi memerlukan dia. Tak ada kena-mengena dengan dia punya result, tak ada kena-mengena dengan dia punya skill, tapi tiba-tiba pasal dia punya kaum, pasal dia punya jantina. Ataupun lelaki tungkatan. Kan, dia nak satu office semua perempuan. Dia seorang jantan. Common practice Malaysia, memang standard. You pergilah mana-mana company Melayu kecil-kecilan, especially company development company. Dalam office tu, manager lelaki, yang lain semua perempuan. Memang common. You boleh kerja sebab you perempuan. Here's the thing. Failing a job interview is okay. It's okay. Memang okay. You fail sekali, fail 2 kali, tapi jangan salah faham. As long as you fulfill the basic criteria lah. Pemakaian kena kemas, muka berjaga, perempuan makeup elok, bukan makeup menggatal, makeup muka berseri, and jawab interview dengan professional, in English. If you follow that strict perfection to be perfect, right? You can still fail in job interviews, and it's okay. It's not your fault. I'm telling you right now, it's not your fault. You're just didn't match what the company needs. You bukan apa yang company perlukan. Itu saja. Tak ada kena-mengena dengan sembahyang ke tak sembahyang ke, you baik ke jahat ke. Certain criteria did not match the company's needs. Itu saja. So what should you do? Don't stop going for job interviews. Don't stop. Case in point. Standard. This one is a polytechnic clips. Okay, standard problem, right? Okay, so Mamat ni, budak JKM. Okay, cari kerja 2 hari terdapat. So dia kerja dulu dekat the store. Ini memang real case example. Dia kerja store. Kenapa kerja di sini? Kenapa tak kerja? Dah cari kerja terdapat. Tak apalah, aku takkan nak memilih kerja kan? Bagus, memang betul tak memilih kerja. Betul. Okay? Kan nak memilih kerja pula kan? So kerja di sini, bagus, betul. Tapi the mistake is, okay, you kerja di store boleh. Tapi golden rule, undang-undang wajib. Don't stop going for job interviews. Never stop. Meaning, katakan kerja di store, kerja di store ke kerja mana-mana ke, still apply. Buka job street, apply. Dapat interview, pergi. Katakanlah esok interview, alamak esok kerja. Minta kawan ganti. Minta cuti. Cakap dengan bos, cuti emergency. Ponteng kerja. Yes. I'm telling you right now. Ponteng kerja, janji you pergi job interview. You might fail job interview. It's fine. You might fail. But here's what I'm telling you right now. In many cases, right? Once you started working, di mana-mana kedai, company yang tak ada kena dengan bidang you, and once you stop going for job interviews, the day you stop going for that job interview is the day of the rest of your life. Hari pertama you stop pergi job interview tu adalah hari pertama seumur hidup you. What do I mean by this? Standard case. Ali yang ada diploma from mechanical engineering, kerja kat store, assistant. Okay. Dah stop interview, dia kenal dengan Minah dalam bangunan sama, usual case, kahwin. Dan kerja the store semua hidup. The store berhenti, cek kerja lain pula. Macam sales juga. So diploma dia dah langsung tak pernah apa. Here's the thing, you don't have the luxury of not working in your field more than 2 years. Macam ni tau. Katakanlah you habis diploma you tahun 2020. Just nak betul-betul kan? 2020. You tak mesti kerja. You lepak, you kerja di store, you mengangguk 2 tahun. Kan? Tiba-tiba pun nak cari kerja. Untuk majikan, dia macam ni tau. Apa you buat 2 tahun? Kenapa tak kerja dalam bidang you? Kenapa kerja di store? Kenapa kerja gini? You bagi alasan mak saya sakit, jaga mak, apa-apa semua. Untuk majikan, that flaw, kelemahan tu, datang daripada diri you. That flaw comes from you. Mesti budak ni masalah. Kalau dia tak kerja 2 tahun, mesti ada satu wrong dia ni. Kenapa? Sebab untuk majikan, setiap tahun you tak kerja, berlambat lagi graduate ni akan masuk pasaran. Fresh graduates will keep coming in. Faham tak? So daripada I ambil you, yang tak kerja dalam bidang you 2 tahun, yang tak ada pengalaman pekerjaan yang berkenaan dalam 2 tahun, the problem something must be with you. Daripada I ambil risiko ambil you kerja, better I ambil budak fresh graduates. Yang confirm tak ada masalah. Faham tak? So, untuk majikan, they have other options. Why should they gamble on you? So that's why I said, memang betul. Failing a job interview is okay. It is normal. It is okay untuk job. But what is not okay is that you stop trying. Menangis, JP. Ni JP lah, JP. Business marketing. Okay? Kenapa lah aku tak dapat gaji? Aku sepanjang waktu, aku belajar pun gaji aku 3 poin jadi. You JP pula what position are you applying for? Know the company, know the position. Are you suitable for that position? Okay, JKM, JKA tak ada masalah dalam hal ni lah, dah tahu dah mesti apa kan. JP, you are still clueless until now. Kan? Okay, so understand the company, understand your role, understand the position so that you can contribute to the role. Okay, So, in summary, okay, let's put a summary here. Job interview is it can be an easy process. If you're lucky, you're lucky. That's it. Luck. Qada ada qada. Takdir. Karma. Whatever you want to call it. Right? It can be an easy process for some people. Some people akan cakap you, aku pergi satu interview dapat kerja, aku dah kerja 10,000, blah, blah, blah. Yes, fine. Lain orang, lain dia punya rezeki. But for you, right now, okay, what I'm telling you right now is, insyaAllah, interview jalan baik. Tapi, kalau tak jalan baik macam mana pun, you just have to keep on trying. Akan dapat. Okay, so with that in mind, my last advice for the day is, kerja yang sesuai sebenarnya untuk you bekerja sambil mencari kerja tetap yang berkaitan dengan bidang you, pada saya adalah gig ekonomi. Nasihat saya, kalau you kerja Foodpanda, kalau you kerja Grab kan, paling bagus. Kenapa? Sebab you tak ada jadual. Esok ada interview, boleh pergi. Tak perlu nak ambil cuti, tak perlu minta bos. Tapi untuk golongan wanita, I kurang tapi risiko tinggi lah, accident kan, tak ada insurance, kalau wanita berbahaya. Tapi pada saya, kalau you dah grad nanti, kalau kerja ekonomi ni, baguslah. Sebab senang nak pergi job intern. Okay, any questions? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you for joining me today. So I hope you learned something from this class, and I wish you the best of luck for your future, inshallah. Man. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.